Hello everyone, welcome to Komodo Tai Tarot, and today we will be doing a reading for Leo for the week of September 26th through October 2nd of 2021. Okay, so you see before me four deck of cards, and the very first one is from the Rider-Waite Black and Gold Edition Tarot decks, which is this. And then the second pile is from this tarot cards from Spencer that I got a while back. I will be pulling four cards from each of the decks here. Okay, there might be more, depending depending on spirit, how much spirit wants to throw out. And then the Moonology deck here that I will be using as an advice card. And lastly, we have the Osho deck that I will be pulling one card from. That from came out so delayed. Why? Just why? So I will be pulling one card from here, and it's going to serve as a food for thought, just something to reflect upon throughout the week and, serve as a reminder. So yeah, that's my intention for that card, and I will be putting this off to the side here, and we can get started with the Black and Gold Edition Rider-Waite Tarot. So yeah, let me just shuffle it real quick here. Okay, so spirit teams, what messages do you have for our lovely Leo for this week of September 26, 2021? The good, the bad, and the ugly. All right, what is it that you want to bring to their attention? Which energy would you like to highlight for this week, so that they can be aware of and are prepared for? Okay, we are now ready for your messages, spirit team. Okay, the World. Ooh, okay, so that's kind of good. Okay, the World is a good card. All right, let's put that off to the side there. All right, I see here there will be a communication, okay, long distance communication or travel of some kind here, okay, for work, could be, possibly. And some of you could be working from home in remote areas and doing Zoom calls, video conferences, and things like that during this week. And also, we cannot discount the fact that this week and also the following weeks to come up until October 18th, it is Mercury retrograde in Libra, all right? And how that impacts and affects Leos is that it will affect Leo or Leo risings in their third house, which is the house of communication. And that is going to, call for your attention. Like, you have to pay particular attention to the things that you do and say, and also especially when it comes to communication, because Mercury is a planet of communication. And not only that, but it's also retrograding in your third house, which is also the house of communication. So that's like a double whammy. So anything that you do during this period of time, a word of caution is to be very, very careful. Make sure that you are clear and concise and to the point and direct in your communication. Don't leave any room for misunderstanding, gray areas. Double check your work, okay? If you are working from home in remote areas, doing things over email, make sure that your messages are not sent to the wrong parties, or that you do not hit the reply to all when you actually want to just reply to that one person. All right, so that is the messages coming in for you guys. To pay particular attention to that. There's five of wands. So for this week, as I was saying, there may be some form of miscommunication that arises, okay, as a result of the Mercury retrograde. And then for those of you who are traveling or just commuting, from point A to point B, make sure that your gases are filled and that your phones, you have your phones, your keys, and things like that with you and prepared. And just make sure to double check everything, okay, during this time. Double check everything, because during this time Mercury is not only affecting your communication, but it is also affecting the way you process things in your mind. Judgments may be clouded. There may be some form of misunderstanding, miscommunication that leads to that. And also, it also affects your travels as well. Okay, if you were to travel short distance, long distance, just be prepared. And if you are taking public transportation, be prepared to like for delays or for cancellations. All right, especially if you're like placing or buying airfares, okay, like plane tickets. Be prepared that there will be like a form of cancellation along the way. Right? So we have the Three of Pentacles. Yes. Okay. It's about, as I said, with the World. Okay, some of you may be looking to travel. Okay, some may just go on simply on a vacation. Okay, visiting families out of towns and things like that, or traveling for business. And with this Five of Pentacles right in between here, okay, speaks very loud that there may be some form of a mishap along the way that you need to be aware of and prepare for that. Okay, double check everything during this period. Double check everything, because it's not only for this week. The Mercury retrograde is from September 27th, which is yesterday, and it stretches all the way to October 18th, because October 18th is the end of a retrograde. But even then, you know, it's like, even on the last, like on the 18th, on the end of it, there may be some things that is like, that you might overlook, and you still need to be careful. Okay, just wait until a day or two after the retrograde and it goes direct, and then things will start to smooth itself out and communication will become clear. And yeah, and also what came to mind with this Five of Wands is that perhaps maybe you have some form of like miscommunication or misunderstanding between you and your siblings or your neighbors. Okay, this would be a good time to reconnect with them again, or hash out any misunderstanding, okay, and gain clarity. We have the Three of Swords here. So yeah, it's going to cause a lot of heartache. It's going to cause a lot of disappointment as a result of the delays and postponements and all the mishaps that's going to be thrashing around. Okay, so let's move. You know what I've noticed is, like, every time I say something, I always end with an okay. Now, if I have $1 for every time I say okay on this video, I would be a freaking millionaire by now. That's so annoying. I'm going to try to stop that. I'm going to improve myself and stop doing that. Okay, I did it again. So we are going to move on to this tarot deck from Spencer. I will be using this to clarify the cards. All right, Spirit teams, what clarification? Could you clarify the World card for me, please? Seven of Swords. The World card is clarified by the Seven of Swords. And Seven of Swords is like, for me, it's always, the way I see it, is about mischief. It's about, and the traditional definitions and meanings of the card is also about someone sneaking off, having this sneaky energy about them, very shady and not trusting, okay? And with the Seven of Swords clarifying the World card for this week, if you are to go on any trips at all or having some form of communications at all, I put an emphasis on travel here with the Seven of Swords. Traveling, whether it's like out of town or within your own cities, or taking taxi. I see a taxi cab or Uber. Okay, make sure that you check your things and you get all your things out of the Uber with you, Okay, don't leave anything behind here, because other people may be quick to swipe your valuables if you carry along whatever it is that's valuable to you, you know. And also, when it comes to traveling, make sure that your luggages goes to the same destination as you go to. So Six of Pentacles clarifies the Five of Wands here. So with the Six of Pentacles clarifying Five of Wands, I feel like whatever this may be, verbal altercation, misunderstanding, fights, what have you, it has to do something with someone feeling as if as if something is unfair, or they got the short end of the stick along that line here. Because how I read this with the combination of both energies, right? The Six of Pentacles is of like someone who's very generous, who's very giving, okay? And then the Five of Pentacles is all about this. It can also depict someone, you know, or a community working together, coming together, and things like that too. But a lot of times, when I see the Five of Wands, I see someone who is, you know, like fighting or not getting along, or is competing. So with the Six of Pentacles and the Five of Wands, so someone within your family or that you work with, you know, it could be at the workplace or something like that, who feel like there is an unfairness happening to them, which would be the cause for this argument or misunderstanding here. So there's a lot of scenarios and a lot of themes here. So basically, anything that could possibly go wrong will go wrong. So to double check, and to also make sure when you speak or when you communicate with your peers, with your colleagues, with your coworkers, or whomever, with your friends, family, brothers, sister, parents, uncles, aunts, cousins, whoever that you come into contact with, make sure that they understand you and that you're both on the same page, because it can cause a major misunderstanding and fights can ensue. So the Page of Swords, it clarifies the Three of Wands. So with this Page of Swords clarifying the Three of Wands, kind of gives me that energy of paranoia. There may be some misunderstanding from the past that will be resurfacing, okay, between you, your brothers, your close loved ones, or your neighbors, possibly even, where it will allow you the opportunity to hash things out and to clear the air, okay? Whatever it is that you have holding inside, okay, this source of paranoia, this misconception about them as a result from past misunderstanding, I feel like with the Three of Wands, it gives me an air of waiting on someone to come. Perhaps maybe there will be some visitations or bumping in of old friends that you haven't met that kind of fell out due to a misunderstanding, okay? For some of you, that could be it too. And then we have the Ace of Wands in reverse, clarifying the Three of Swords here. So, oh my gosh, I hate this. I so hate this. Ace of Wands. Really, there really isn't going to be any movement, forward movement, or anything like that. You're going to feel very like stuck, and you're going to feel like regardless of what you do, anything that you do, anything that you touch, something that before it used to be so easy, an easy task to do that only takes a minute or two to do, now becomes like this massive chores, and it's long-winded and it's drawn out, especially when it comes to technology as well too. Here, I'm sensing that if you're working with computers, with technologies, with emails, or anything like with phones, make sure that your phones is always charging, because you don't want to be like going somewhere long distance, forgot your charger, and then look at your phone and you're low on battery charges when you have to make calls, and things like that. And as a result of that, as the Ace of Wands, there's like no new beginning at all here. You're not going to, feel like starting anything new, which during this time is a good thing. I say, if you feel, just address and tie up loose ends, whatever is going on, whatever is resurfacing, address that, tie up the loose ends, and just be very meticulous and detail, pay particular attention, and double check everything, basically. And also, if you're going to travel from afar, make sure that you keep an eye on your things very closely, because there are chances that it will get lost with the Seven of Swords. Okay, clarifying the world. And also, if you're working online as well, as I said before, some of you could be working from home, or even if you're working at your office, make sure that your security level is tight on your Wi-Fi. Okay, make sure you have the VPN and everything is secure, especially if you're working with sensitive information of clients, customers, patients, and things of that nature here. All right, so that is the message here. Let's move on to this Numerology Oracle deck. Alright, Spirit teams, what advice do you have for our Leo for the messages today? Look at the bigger picture. Nothing will come of this situation. Be bold and make the first move. All right. Okay. So during this time of retrograde, with this, look at the bigger picture. Spirit is asking for you to kind of, in a way, have patience, because again, I was telling you to pay attention to can't talk. I was telling you to pay attention to details, in which you should. And now, the reason why you should pay attention to detail is because you can easily mess up, and that will push you back a notch. Okay, like that can put a damper on your plans and kind of set you back a step, right? So as a result of that, during this time, it's going to require a lot of patience. Okay, and with this, look at the bigger page. You see how it's affecting me right now? I'm just, look at the bigger picture. Is that to know, okay, that this is not going to last forever. The retrograde is not going to last forever. It's going to be 3 weeks at most, and you can go back and return to your usual life, okay, back to when everything was clear and easy, and communication was smooth, and traveling was smooth, and nothing is wrong or would go wrong. So with a look at the bigger picture, the energy here is also to say to you, okay, to have patience. Okay, to have patience. This retrograde is not going to last forever. All right, but in the meantime, work with the energy of the retrograde and you will be fine. Now I know it's hard because you guys are going to take the double whammy of the retrograde because of the whole, affecting your third house, and your third house is a house of communication, and the Mercury is a planet of communication, and so it's kind of like it's going to be quite intense. I want to say it's going to be quite intense for you guys, but know that if you are prepared for it, nothing will come of the situation. Okay, whatever it is that's going to crop up or that is going to go wrong, if you do your due diligence, do your research, and double check things and make sure everything is in order 2-3 times, however much time you feel you need to do it, to double check what it is that is important before you send it out, before you email it out to people, or even when you have to go on this trip for work or anything like that. Make sure if you're taking your car, you're driving, make sure that your gas tanks, your fuels are full, okay, and your batteries are charged and your tires are inflated, and just do the whole 9 yards, okay, just to make sure everything is in order and in line, and that to limit the risks as much as possible, or to limit any opportunity for errors as possible. So if you do that, nothing will come of the situation. Now be bold and make the first move. So with this, it's calling for you not to be fearful of the Mercury retrograde, because if you know what to look for, if you know what is going on, you're better prepared for it, and therefore if you want to take that risk, okay, and let's say if there's something like an opportunity of a lifetime with regards to your work situation, right? And they require for you to travel out of town, and other people they don't want to travel out of town because they just don't feel like traveling, especially around this time. I mean, it's a hassle with COVID-19 and the whole vaccination and things like that. It's but if you do, this is an example. It's not necessarily, it doesn't have to come to fruition, but if you do be that one to like show and prove to your superior that you're willing and flexible to take on this responsibility or take on this task of going to this conference meeting or what have you, out of town, and taking purchasing airfare, traveling there, you can do that. Okay, you don't have to put your life on hold just because it's Mercury retrograde and you don't want to have to deal with all the cancellation and the delays. You just have to make sure that everything is in order, and that nothing, you just have to make sure that everything is in order and minimize the opportunity or room for error as much as possible in your travel, and you should be fine. Okay, that's what be bold and make the first move is conveying the messages, is that don't be fearful, and if there's an opportunity during this retrograde, if you want to go for it, go for it. Just be sure that you gather all your information and do your research and have all your what is it called, and cover all your bases. That's what I was looking for there. Okay, and that is the message here, the advice from the Oracle card. Let's move on to Osho. All right, Spirit teams, what sutras would you like for our Leo to bear in mind throughout the week here during the Mercury retrograde? Let me do it like this. Too many. I just want one, please? Oh, there's like 3. Still too many. This one, please. Okay. You know what? I don't know what it is, but every time that I shuffle the cards and the cards that pop out, it's always the same card that I always get. It's never anything new. There's like, how many cards are in here? 52 cards? 53? There's 53 cards in here. But every time that I do a reading and I shuffle it, it's always the same one that comes out. I would like to get new ones, okay, to pop out, but I guess, I don't know, maybe these messages needs to be heard by, you know, viewers coming through or something. Anyway, the sutra says, as the Fletcher's whittles and makes straight his arrows, so the master directs his straying thoughts. This is the photograph of the sutra. On the back it says, now meditate. Are your thoughts directing you, or do you direct your thoughts? Because much depends on that insight. Are you being dominated by your thoughts? Do they go on driving you hither and thither? Do they suggest to you? Do they fascinate you? Do they obsess you? Do they pull your strings, and are you simply a slave? Or are you the master, and can you say to your thoughts, stop? And they have to stop? Can you put them on or off? People never meditate over it because it makes them feel very humiliated. It shows them their impotence. They cannot even stop thoughts, their own thoughts. All right, so that is the explanation for the sutra here. I hope that the messages that came through today is of help to you guys, okay? If not a lot, a little, however much. That's the whole point of me doing this tarot card reading is, you know, just pretty much relaying messages. Messages, it doesn't really have to be with the particular scenarios that is posed here or the examples given here, but you know, the concept is about the same. All right, if you were to encounter any situations or circumstances along the way, doesn't necessarily have to be within this week, or it could be like a week from now, 2-3 weeks down the line, next month or something like that, and then you happen to encounter something like this, just to, you know, remember these messages from these tarot card readings and to serve as a reminder to gain your footing and to stay grounded and to remain vigilant, and also to bring awareness to your consciousness, if that makes sense. Anyway, this is all I have for you guys, and if you enjoy my reading, if you find this entertaining, you can support my channel by clicking the like button, comment down below if you feel compelled to do so, and if you subscribe to my channel, I would greatly appreciate it. And also don't forget to hit that notification button so that every time I upload videos you will be notified of it. With that being said, I thank you so much for clicking onto my channel and staying until the end, okay? And also I wish you a great day, happy day, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you may be in the world, and also whichever time zone you are in. And yeah, I hope to see you next time. Bye.